Right, this is Andrew with Joda Home Inspections. We're at 1616 South, 20th East here in Salt Lake. We have the camera pushed out 144 feet. We're not yet to the city connection. For a couple of reasons. So I'm hitting a small offset. This really is not that big of an offset, but I'm so far out and I've gone through a couple turns. There's also a lot of cast iron, which puts a lot of resistance on the line, and so I'm not able to get past this offset to see the rest of the line. We're seeing a fair amount of it, but we're on a corner here, so I would imagine we're not going towards the front of the house. We're probably going towards the side street. 144 feet out, I think we would have hit the line had we been going straight out towards the front of the house, especially with where the sewer stack is on the roof. But it looks like this is clay pipe. So far, it'll transition soon. I saw some roots. That's one item that I'm looking for, and there's some moderate size. So I tried to splash some water on my camera head to clear off the lens, which helped a little bit. One downside with clay is that you have more joints, and so there's more spots for roots to come through. Here's some more. That looks like an access point. So you can see roots growing through the clean out right there, 120 feet out. In theory, we'd be able to access the line there, but I think this one's been cut off and buried, and so you'd have to have it located before you could access that spot. You could ask the seller, sometimes they know where it's hidden, and it's just under a rock or something, but it's not one that I could see outside. I'm not seeing any standing water, which is great. That means that you have proper grade. You never want to have an excessive amount of standing water. That would indicate that you have improper grade. Well, you know, when I pushed my camera out, I didn't see this turn. Generally, I'm pushing my camera out quickly so it doesn't get stuck, and I didn't see this turn. I'm wondering if this is a city connection here, which if we are going straight out from your house and not towards the side street, that would make sense. 77 feet out, we're on the front of the house by the front porch, so that would make sense. I would recommend getting the map from the city, because the other possibility is that we are under the house and this is another part of the basement feeding in and it's still continuing out. So there's kind of two scenarios. Either we're under the house and these are basement lines feeding into one, or we're at the city connection and that was the city line that we were in a second ago. My guess, I mean, that clay that we were going through looks more like a lateral line from a house and not a city line. And so my guess is that we're under the house. Especially because now we're going through cast iron. It's real common to have cast under the house and then clay in the street, or in the yard rather. So this is cast iron. Downside with cast iron is it gets really rough and rusty. Trying to clean my camera head off. That didn't do much. The cast iron was rough enough. There we go. It's rough enough that I'd recommend having the cast iron cleaned. You could have it coated, where they clean it with basically a chain, and that beats along the edge and it cleans off all that rust and buildup. Otherwise, waste can have an easier time getting stuck and creating a blockage where it backs up into the house. Eventually, cast iron will need to be replaced, which, when it's under the house, that can mean opening up parts of the basement slab to be able to access it. I would recommend the insurance on this line, and that would help offset the cost when there is a bigger issue. For now, I'd recommend first finding out from the city what direction this line goes, how many feet out it is. That would help us determine whether we were in the city line or whether we were transitioning under the house. Next thing is I'd recommend having that cast iron cleaned. And while they're at it, they can clean out the roots and the clay. But certainly cleaning up the cast iron under the house, and then they could reevaluate it at the same time. There's a lot that we can see, and we can see that it's cast iron, and that it looks pretty rough, and that it's the original pipe. But once they clean it, they can see even more. I'm going to end this recording now.